this is really interesting because when I was watching Nyla Vibes, I came across her once when I was watching a video of Uppity Unicorn. Actually, she was talking about Cardi B and the club situation with black women. And I happened to come across Nyla Vibes video, and I definitely thought that that lady seemed like she was someone who liked to use people's platforms to do better, basically. Like she was someone who was just basically trying to get some kind of benefit out of what she was saying, rather than did she even believe what she was actually saying. And this is an interesting thing and an interesting account by Woman's Sphere here. So I wanted to play it.
To help her. And I noticed that she attaches herself to women with resources. So she attaches herself to women that she can capitalize off of, women that can help her in certain areas. And then once she gets it, she discards you like a narcissist and she dogs you.
I feel like that's exactly what Nyla Vibes is doing to Cynthia G. Because when I first encountered Nyla Vibes, I was like, she was using all the words and all the rhetoric that Cynthia G uses. Now, I might not agree with it, but at least Cynthia G is original. Nyla Vibes didn't even have that. I had just first come across Nyla Vibes. I didn't even really know her that well, to have a negative view of her or positive view. But the first thing I recognized was she basically was taking Cynthia G's content and her style and trying to make it her own to see how far she could get with her own channel. You see, with Woman's Sphere, I don't feel that way about her. Everyone knows I'm not really a fan of any of these people, but I don't feel that way towards Woman's Sphere. It seems like Woman's Sphere has her own style, has her own content, has her own opinion, has her own perspective. That might agree with Cynthia G many times, but she comes to her conclusion basically in her own way and in her own style. Like, Nyla Vibes seemed like she was regurgitating exactly what Cynthia G was saying, word from word, as if she was reading from a script. Like, she couldn't even use her own words. So, I mean, that was just interesting what she was saying about connecting herself with people with resources or some kind of power. I think she is definitely doing that. Continue.
That is what this is about. That is what this is about. And Jazz, and she asks you for pictures of your body. It's weird. Nyla is weird. Nyla has put revenge porn on 2 women in this space.
Yeah, I never get why or what is going on with the association of people's nude pictures. I don't get that. I'm subscribed to Uppity Unicorn, and I remember they kept talking about that with her and Nyla Vibes and some issue going on there. Very confusing, and I didn't really get what the purpose of that was, really, to me. I mean, like, what? I understand. I think she was trying to make someone look bad, like they were mentally unwell or something. But to me, from my perspective, it was like, how are you walking around with this type of material? It kind of says something about you. At least to me, it made me uncomfortable. Continue.
Davy Dessalines and Uppity Unicorn. When Nyla asked me for a picture of my titties, I was like, hell the fuck to the no. Why is a woman asking for pictures of my titties?
To me, I would think That's probably a lesbian or bisexual. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nyla was lesbian or bisexual. Being completely honest. She, to me, I think she has some issue, personality issue, and you can tell that there's a personality issue within her. So she has many different faces, and she doesn't really have one opinion or perspective or values or anything that she really stands by. She is a shapeshifter. When you're a shapeshifter, things like that can be a part of a person because they might live a life where they seem like they're straight, but they're actually something else altogether. It's a part of their shape-shifting personality, basically. Continue.
She asked for pictures of your body. She wants to see, like, your body. And she got access to pictures of JV Dessalines and Uppity Unicorn's body. And she shared them all over the internet, y'all. I got receipts. I'm just telling y'all out my own mouth. But I have the receipts to prove all of this. That's why I said this shit is like Surviving Nyla Says and Taz exclusives. Because Taz literally obsesses over the beautiful women surrounding his woman.
Well, that makes sense. He doesn't feel she's beautiful enough as those women. So she's always in an insecure state, probably, because she doesn't compare to those other women around her. You know, I have a feeling she's probably jealous of some women that are on the higher end of this sector. Namely, maybe like Cynthia G and so forth. But, you know, they have to keep that quiet, obviously, because they're still trying to use her. But yeah, that's just something I've always thought. You could look at her and see that, you know, of course he's gonna have that issue and she's gonna have that insecurity issue because she doesn't feel she has physically enough to compare to a lot of other women. That's just what it is.
That's why I said it's pimping. It is pimping. Nyla is weird. Nyla hijacks every personality of every woman she comes in contact with. When she met Cass,
that makes sense that she would hijack, because think of it, if at her core she is really nothing or nobody, and she has to basically hijack other people to have a face, then she is basically a faceless person. So she is basically a shell. And, you know, people like that, they have to have a chameleon personality so then they actually look like they are someone, because they, to the core of them, are no one. It's a personality dysfunction and defect, basically, within them. Continue, though.
She started going around telling people she was an expat. No, Cass is an expat. Cass is a veteran. Cass.
That's just the whole thing of trying to relate to people. And people try to relate to people to basically be able to manipulate them. If they feel they can use that individual, they need to manipulate them. How do they manipulate them? By seeming more relatable, so then they can manipulate them to get whatever benefit they want out of them. You see this all the time. This is how people try to use methods to, for example, sell something to someone. That's not a trait of being a psychopath. That's just doing your job. But when people do this in their regular life non-stop, that's when you know they're just a manipulative person who has some psychopathic traits. Continue.
Travels the world. Cass does that. JV is a corporate executive. Nyla hijacked her whole story and started saying she was a corporate executive. She is not. She's not even a licensed hairstylist.
That's what I mean. With whichever situation and anything presented, lies will be brought forward in order to be relatable to an individual, to be able to manipulate someone, to have access to that person's resources. So, that's just a part of the personality problem I think she has going on with her. But I mean, I just thought that this was interesting because it's like, yeah, I definitely felt many of those different types of vibes that Woman's Fear is talking about Nyla vibes. This is outside of any topic that she would bring up that I would disagree with, basically. Because I'm honestly not going to agree with many of these people in the sector on many issues. But my point is as far as how she represented herself, to me, it was a form of, this isn't truly who she is. We don't know who she truly is. She's just trying to basically appeal to you for her own personal gain. So why even take anything that she says seriously? That's one thing that came through my mind. It's just like, she's not even sharing her own personal opinion on this. Like, at least Cynthia G is sharing how she feels. I might not agree with how she feels, but she is sharing how she feels. I might think, whoa, this is how you feel. This is what it brought you to, for whatever other past reason or whatever other issues I say that she might have in the past, This is not one of those situations, because Nyla Vibes is not even true and honest about how she actually feels. She's just trying to play on your feelings so then she can get some kind of financial gain, some kind of social gain, some kind of benefit. That's all she sees people as what benefit do we have to give her, basically. That's how most psychopaths see people. It's just, how can they use people? And to me, is the way she moves about and carries herself definitely suggests that's the type of woman that she is. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Bye.